Hey Lily, and all of you out there that are joining us to learn how to crochet at a slow pace. Today we are going to learn to double crochet, and here is two different swatches of double crochet. You can see that this one is pretty straight all the way around, and if you look here, you see how this one kind of has little scallops almost. So it's not very straight at all, and it's not very straight over here either. Now, no matter how you crochet, you'll still have once in a while something a little in and out. But in this swatch, I did not, at the end of the row, go into the chain space that you're going to see me do here in a little bit. But I wanted to show you this before we started. And this is, of course, the way that you want yours to look as much as you can. Now, when I started, I did not know how to turn. And I'm sure the first blanket that I made, I'm sure I had a lot of edges that went in and out because I was kind of guessing, and I just did the best that I could. But anyway, these are going to be the two different looks you're going to get. If you do it the way that I show you today, it'll look more like this. And if you forget to get this last stitch that I will show you, it'll look more like this. Okay, so let's move those. And I'm just going to use this blue, this same mainstay cotton yarn from Walmart. And if you have any trouble getting the middle to come out, now like I said, a lot of times you'll get a pretty good little wad there. And you don't have to go to the middle. You can actually, the outside, you can just use the skein of yarn. You can crochet with it coming undone the other way. Or you can roll it up and make a ball out of it. And of course, they have little machines that help you do that too. But as a beginner, I just do the way that I was comfortable. Okay, so let me get to the end of this and we'll get started. Now, in our previous lessons, of course this is lesson 4, we learned how to do our slip knot. And so if you'll recall, we just lay the yarn across her hand, and then if you want to, you can just do this, but you don't have to. You can either do the across the fingers, or you can just cross it like that. If we lay this down, just remember you take the working side over the tail, take the working end that's laying there, and you just pull up like that. Okay, and if you want to just use your fingers, like I said, I usually just maybe do that and pull it through, or just use my fingers and make a pretzel out of it like we did before. Okay, so now you've got your slip knot. You pull from both sides to tighten, and then we chain. We've learned how to chain. We go under the yarn, and we just pull it through that slip knot. Okay, so there's 1, and then you do again is 2. And today we're going to, first of all, do 20, and then we're going to add 3. So we have 2. So let's keep going. 2, 3, 4. And if you, I guess you remember, I'm sure that if you've practiced, you know just to put your yarn, the working side, around the little finger and on top of your pointer finger, and hold the crochet hook at just where it's comfortable. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm holding it with my thumb and my middle finger. Then you'll have to move up just a little bit. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and keep it loose, 14, 15, let's do up to 20, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, we're going to make a little bigger swatch today to make it maybe a little dishcloth. Because like I said, after you learn a stitch, I really like just making it as you practice into something. So a dishcloth or a washcloth, you can use it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that way, at least we have something for our hard work of practicing. Now we're going to add 3 more chains, okay? So go under, pull through, under your yarn, pull through, and one more time, okay? And that should be 23. Now, and if you want to, you can go ahead and go back and count. And as a matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do that. We'll just come right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And there's our 1, 2, 3. So 23. Now, really, with what we're doing, it won't matter if you didn't have the exact number. But now in a pattern, when it says, you know, so many plus so many more, and most of the time the way they say that is a multiple of 2 or 3 or 4 plus another number. And that way it comes out with the pattern at the end of your chain. Now when you do a double crochet, you remember how we had 1 stitch extra at the end? Well, to make the height of a double crochet, you need 3 chains. So right there's 1, 2, 3. So in the 4th from the hook, we do not count the loop that's on the crochet hook. And you want 3 chains, and it'll be in that 4th one right there. So that one kind of got a little tighter, but that's 1, 2, 3. And you're going to put this stitch in right in that chain. You're just going to stick your needle or your hook through. Now, to do a double crochet, you go under your yarn and yarn over, okay? You go into that stitch right there. You go under your yarn and pull it, yarn over, and then you pull it up. Now look, you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over. You're going to go through 2 of those loops, just like that. Then you're going to have 2 left on your crochet hook, okay? You're going to go under and pull the yarn through both of those, and that is a double crochet. Now most of the time when you're doing double crochets, and all this depends on your pattern, this is just a very basic way. There may be changes to the way that I show you when you actually get into a pattern, but this is just the basics. And they can vary. Things with the basics can vary some. So this first 3 chains is counted as a double crochet, and then we just did a double crochet. Now, what we're going to do is go down through here and practice doing our double crochets. Go under your yarn. And as I told you in the last video, that's what we call that's yarn over. go to the next stitch, just like when we single crochet, except you have to go have this extra loop here on your hook. Go into the chain, go under the yarn, come through and pull up, keep it loose. I'll be honest with you, when I first started, I crocheted too tight, and still sometimes I do. But anyway, try your best to just kind of keep it to where it's very easy to pull your crochet hook through. All right, go under your yarn again, and you come through 2. So you've got 3 on your hook. You're going to go through 2 of them, and when you come up, that will leave 2. Go under your yarn and pull through, and you have made another double crochet. All right, so that one you've done. So if we look closely, right here, right there is our next chain. Go under your yarn, just stick that hook right through there, go under your yarn and pull up. Again, you have three loops on your hook. Go under, pull through 2 and come up, keeping it loose, under, and come through the 2. And you've made another double crochet. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Okay, let's keep going. Go under, go through the chain, go under the yarn and pull it up, go under the yarn, pull through 2, go under the yarn and pull through the other 2. Okay, so you've just done another one. And so all we're doing is we're going to put 1 double crochet in each chain stitch. All right, so as I said, this actually is yarn over, go into the chain, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, let's do another. Go under, yarn over, go through your chain, yarn over, come back up. You have your 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, leaves 2, yarn over, go through 2. And that's how you do, like I said, that's all there is to the double crochet. So let's just keep practicing. All right, you just go through. If you need to stop and back up or whatever is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and go. I'll stop right before I finish the last stitch. So just keep working. Now I have one chain left, so we need to put a double crochet in that chain. So let's do one more. All right. Now we're at the end of our row, and this is what your double crochets look like. Okay. Now, before we turn, we are going to chain 3 to start the next row at the same height as a double crochet. Now, when we did a single crochet, we only chained 1. And of course, you can tell that this is a wider stitch. So let's chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Turn your work, flip it over like a book. Excuse me. Then we are going to look at this. There's the 1, 2, 3 chains. And you see this 4th right here? These are the 3 we chained. And that is actually right on top of that first double crochet. So what we're going to do is skip that one too. So the 1, 2, 3 plus that one. So then when you go to your next place to put your crochet hook, you're going to put it right there. Now let me show you, because now this is really important. This is where you get the wrong place, then you get a crooked side. So there's your loop. You don't count it. 1, 2, 3. Then there's that 1 that I told you went with the first one. So this is the next one right there. Okay, I hope you can see good. I'll lay it up there. See, there's 1 there that's part of that. And this 1, 2, 3 is going to count as your first double crochet of the next row. So in that one is where we're going to put it. So we're going to yarn over, and again, you're going to put it right here. 1, 2, 3. This goes with that first one. Okay? Okay, you got that, everybody? Yarn over, and then you will put your next double crochet. So just as we did before, like we did when we single crocheted, go under the top 2 loops, yarn over, come up. You got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 2 on your hook, yarn over, and pull through these 2. Now, there's your second one. And if you look at this closely, and I'll try to get this real close here, you see how this one on the end here, and then the one that you started your second row, they're right on top of each other. Then this second one, you see how this double crochet, they're right over each other. Now, if you put your double crochet in that little stitch that I told you to skip, you'll get that weaving in and out, and you'll get your number of stitches messed up. And like I said, when you're starting, if you mess up a number, if you miss one or something, it's fine. It really is fine. And just, use this as practice. And like I said, then you can use it as a little dishcloth or washcloth. All right, let's go back. Now, we're going to yarn over. And as I told you when you single crocheted, turn your edge of your crochet work towards you just a little bit, where you can see that and that loop, those 2. It makes sort of a V. So stick your crochet hook right through underneath those 2 top loops. Yarn over, pull through. You've got your 3 loops, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's double crochet. And see, now you've got one over this one, one over this one, and one over this one. And as I said a couple of different times, that chain 3 is going to be your first double crochet. Now when we come back in a few minutes, you're going to put a stitch in the top of that 3rd chain as your last stitch after you turn around. But I'll show you that in a few minutes. All right, now let's just continue. And as I said, turn your work a little bit, get the top 2 loops. Okay, and just do your double crochets. Just take your time. We're in no hurry. And I'm designing this so that everybody can just go slowly. All right, Lily, you doing okay? I bet you're doing a great job. And I'm sure everybody else is too. All right, let's just crochet until we get to that last stitch in this row, and then stop before you do it, and I'll show you how to do that when we get there. Everybody, let's just crochet. Okay, I'm going to stop actually with this next to the last double crochet, which would be this one. So you see that you can see the little V left right here, right? See that? See that little V? All right, we want to go ahead and put a double crochet there, yarn over, go through the 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now, this is where we're at to keep this side straight. Now, let's look at it. All right, we chained 3 right before we turned. 1, 2, 3. So right here, you'll have to look. You'll have to yarn over and come down to that 3rd stitch, and it'll be kind of on the side. You see, this one right here, and let me just take this loose here so that we can look at it, because I think it helps when you actually see where you're at. All right, let's back up a little bit. Okay, there's this double crochet. You've got one right on top of it. Right here's a double crochet, one on top of it. Here's a double crochet, and one on top of it. Now that chain 3 is also a double crochet, even though we chained to make it. So we have to do one right on top of it also. Yarn over, come down, and go through. Yarn over, you pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now, when we lay this down, this is what it looks like. All right? You see? So, and we're taking plenty of time to talk about the stitches. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And that last one made 21. All right? Now, let's chain 3. Just do 3 chains. Flip your work over. And now, let's look again. We're doing the same thing. 1, 2, 3 is the double crochet. And this, in the double crochet, it's a little different. Now, if you have a pattern that tells you to do it differently, go by the pattern. This is just the basics. So if you're just doing a swatch or a whole thing of double crochets, this will work great to be able to have your everything to line up correctly. So you're talking about the 3 there. Leave that base one, skip it, because it's part of the first one. And now, when we turn, you're basically going to say, okay, here's 1, 2, 3, which is the chain. Skip the base, and right there will be your next one. Yarn over, go through there, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, pull through 2 of them, yarn over and pull through 2. Now let's look again. You see, there's that one straight over this one, or this one over this one, and this one over this one, and this one is lined up with the second, if you can see that. There's one, and there's one. So our next one will be right there. Okay, I want you to keep doing this until when you fold it, you get, here's a swatch of that I did, kind of getting ready for the end of this video. Now, I've got one of my stitches that came out. We'll put that back in a second. If you fold it corner to corner and make a triangle out of it, that's pretty well square. Don't worry about what side or anything you're on. Let's just, whenever you get that, just stop, okay? Just finish the row where you're at. Now this one, I've ended up on the tail on both sides. And I know on that first one, I told you to have the tail over on the other side. And then after I thought about that a little bit, actually we went across first. And we did the chain, you know, we did our chain, and then we went back and back. Just don't worry about that right now. Just stop when you get this to make a triangle, okay? Now, so that I'll be able to finish showing you, I'm just going to use this one to finish up on. And like I said, right here, you see how, well, let me take out a couple right here so you can see. Now, you yarn over, and if you look, there's 2, just your regular double crochets here. That's the chain 3 on the end. So that's 3 more stitches. So we'll yarn over, and we'll go through that one. Yarn over, come through, and then we've got another one that's just like that. And we're to the chain 3. Now, here it is. You want to go up to the 3rd stitch. So it's on the side a little bit. And you yarn over, and you've just got to kind of poke that hook through. Yarn over, and pull up your loop. Pull it up, keep it loose. Pull through 2, pull through 2. All right? Now, you see how that's, none of it's going to be just absolutely, you know, straight like a ruler. But that's pretty straight for a piece of handmade crochet, in double crochet. So now, to finish up, after you get to this point, you'll yarn over, you'll pull through the loop you have, which is just a chain through there. Then we're going to cut off the yarn, And then all we're going to do now is just pull your yarn on through. Just take your hook, pull up through it. Then take your finger there and kind of tug that in, because we don't want that to come undone, and that will hold it. And we are going to review now how to work these ends in. And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to use some kind of a little needle, any kind that you can get your yarn through. This is just a little tapestry needle. This just happens to be one that's been on the end. It doesn't have to be. There's all kinds of them. Oh, here's a little tip. You know that it's hard sometimes to get yarn through a needle eye, which this one's bigger, and that makes it a little easier, but sometimes it is hard. But if you'll fold your yarn, instead of just using the end to go through, if you'll fold your yarn and then just stick that right through there, it makes it a little bit easier. Now, you remember when we work this in, we just go in and out, and we try to just do a neat job. Just yarn, just sew kind of in and out. Just work your needle. And you can go vertically or horizontally. All right, so this one I'm just going horizontally. And we're going to go out there just a little ways. We're going to work right back. And I don't know, let's go right here. And we're going to come back just a little more. And for a lot of projects, that's probably enough. But if it's going to be washed quite a bit, you can make like a little bit of a third pass back through it. And you're just working in and out of the fibers of the yarn a little bit. And that should be fine. Right there, that one's done. Okay. So we just trim off our edge. All right. And then we want to work in the other end. And like I said, don't worry about which end you end up on. We're going to talk more about that later anyway. I want to start out by not trying to do everything at one time. Now, just do this one the same way. And like I said, it's not going to be absolutely perfect. We just want to enjoy and have fun crocheting. It's a great hobby. I've done this for a long time. And I'm going to try to show you one day one of the things that I made a long, long time ago. And I will do that later on. I don't have the first big item I made, but I've got one that is pretty old that I'll show you sometime. All right, so let's go through. And I jumped down just a little bit that time. And that's okay too. Just work it in. And it takes a little bit of time to work in ends. And there's projects that you do that you have lots of ends. And it takes a pretty good while to do those. But you just take your time. Cut that other little part off after you get done. And there you go. And you can just easily, use that as a little dishcloth. Just as a small one. You can make big ones. We can make hot pads. We can make coasters. I just want us to make something as we practice. Well, I've had fun doing this today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And I'll get another lesson up within the next week or so. Just go ahead and practice your double crochets. If you want to make something bigger, just chain more when you start. And on this, you don't have to have a certain number because you're working in every stitch back. But now we'll do projects where you have to count exactly. But on this, it's not necessary. Folks, have a good afternoon. Bye, Lily. Hope you're having fun, and everybody else too. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.